He was taking it in a different, that word coal in a different way. So then my husband said, "Oh, I thought you meant my cousin Penny Cole." Cole is her last name. And I said, "No, actually I meant," and then I didn't even go into coal as coal mining. I said, well, I was thinking about, when you're naughty and Santa brings the coal. So we had that one word coal and my idea of doing the districts. And so what I did was, and if you look on my blog, I have a category called Scrapbook Improv. And I took an improvisational comedy class last summer and didn't become any funnier or quicker on my feet necessarily, but I did learn a lot of techniques that improvisational comedians use to, it's basically the rules of improv comedy. And I have been applying those rules to scrapbooking. So a couple of the concepts that I'm working with today are taking it the wrong way. And so we had that one word coal, and we each took it in a different way. So I made a layout that basically showed each way that we took it. So this was my original intention, is we had just gone to Appalachian Ski Mountain, which is in coal country. So I was thinking that kind of coal. Then I took a headshot of each of my family members, and so, my daughter said Nicole, my husband said Penny Cole, my son said the Legos, and so I got a picture of him with the Legos, and I was talking about the coal that Santa brings, and that was a little box of coal that we made that said "Save Santa a trip, be naughty," which is kind of funny. So the first principle there is taking one word the wrong way, and that's actually so before I get there, because this is so improv, another concept is having an idea and coming into a scene as an improvisational comedian. You're not supposed to be thinking in advance. You're just supposed to show up and go and listen to your partners. And so that's what I went in this morning with something, with an idea, and improvisational comedy. A lot of times we'll say you're holding on to a precious idea, or you're keeping your ideas too precious, and then you want to be like the scene driver where you're kind of telling everybody else how they're going to interpret something. In improv, what you're supposed to do is listen. And so if I would have gone with no, I'm going to do the districts, I'm going to go through each level, I don't think I ever would have come up with this layout. Instead, I trashed my precious idea of the districts, which I think is still kind of a good idea, but I trashed it for this purpose because I wanted to listen and react to my scene partners, or my family in this case. And so I listened and responded and stayed in the moment, and those are all principles of improv comedy. But the challenge for today is not to make a layout about coal. It is to think of a word that has more than one meaning. So think of the word reservations, like I'm going to make dinner reservations. If you took that word in a different way, or took it in the wrong way, you could say, "Oh no, I don't know about that because I have a different, like the reservations you would have if you were bungee jumping, like fear, instead of making an appointment for dinner." I had an English teacher in high school that was one of my favorites. Her name was Miss Rideout, and she had this program where we would get 10 vocabulary words every week, and then we'd have a quiz on Friday. But I think on Wednesday you had to turn in 10 sentences with the words, and 9 of the sentences had to make sense. So you had to use the word in their context. But the 10th word had to include the sentence you had to include the word in the sentence using the word in the incorrect way. And I'll give you 2 examples of these that I remember that I didn't write, but friends of mine did, and she would read the ones that were particularly funny. So she read these, and I remember them, and it's been 25 years. So if you want to be memorable and have your scrapbook layouts be memorable, try this. Really, you might find that people remember a specific layout more than just, here's another pretty picture of my family. So two of the funny sentences that I remember 25 years later are, "Hey, stop that! European all over my toe." And so the word was European, as in someone from Europe. But that was very, very funny. Yeah, I still think it's funny. The second one that I remember was for the word benign, as in, you don't have cancer, that tumor is benign. But to use it inappropriately or incorrectly in a sentence, the sentence was, "The figure skater finished her routine and looked at the judges and whispered to herself hopefully, 'Benign, benign.'" And they hold up their little thing and it's like an 8 or a 10 or a 9. And so anyways, benign. So if you choose to accept the scrapbooking challenge, the Hunger Games scrapbooking challenge, what I would like you to do is think of a word and take it the wrong way. And then find photos that support your word. So your photos, like these photos, were not taken to have anything to do with coal. At all. Not at all. I did transport them into black and white, with my transporter. Just kidding. But all of these pictures had nothing to do with coal. But I took that word, used it out of context, had an experience, and so therefore I can put all of those pictures together. So if you, for example, if you were going to use the example of the figure skater in B9, which I don't think you should use that. I think you should come up with one of your own. But you might take a photo of your kid skating, or you might take something to do with a score, or what you would not do is use benign as it is intended. So you wouldn't say, "I went and had my mammogram and my lump was benign and I'm so happy about that." That's awesome. That's a different layout. We want silly. So that is, I'm going to try to keep this a little short. I gotta go. It's 10 minutes. I am Katie Scott with Kiss and Tell Scrapbooking, and this is day 2 of the Hunger Games Scrapbooking Challenge on Kiss and Tell Scrapbooking. Oh, and I was going to put the page together, but I didn't. I was going to show you how improv I was about that. I'll do that. Ta-da! And I have maps from Appalachia that are going on it. It will be on my blog. See you later.